Welcome back to I'm Still Here. I'm Larry.
And I'm Heather. In 1998, I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer at the age of 26. It changed everything for us, but I'm still here.
You are. And it's October.
It is.
Yay!
Oh, the world loves October. Or Americans or something, the Midwest. People like October. I'm not a really big fan.
I know you're not.
How'd you say it last night?
I don't think you look forward to October or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons.
Yes.
You really like summer.
Mm.
And when the leaves start changing and falling, that's and the boat comes out and all of those things, not your
not my favorite.
Not your favorite. No.
Yeah, and then you add to it Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm supposed to be celebrating everybody. That I feel like that's the expectation, is that I would be happy about, the awareness and that kind of stuff. But it honestly, it feels, I was thinking about it yesterday, I think it really feels isolating to me. And I think that's probably true for most women with metastatic disease.
What do you mean?
We're not really the people that you want to hear about in terms of that. Being stage 4 or metastatic, it's like, that's not the stage that's the one you hope to never hear, right?
Right.
And even aside from like the breast cancer community, I mean, all of the stuff that goes on, people want to talk about people that have beat the disease, the people that have, triumphed over it or rang the bell or all of those kind of things. So it really, I think, I don't know, it just feels to me like, I feel like I'm a party pooper with all of this stuff, honestly, people are, I know they're raising money and all of that kind of stuff, but it doesn't feel like, to me, the intent is to save a life, really. I don't know, or it doesn't feel like, I don't know.
Do you think you're just jaded over time, and that maybe it's not as bad in some ways as it strikes you, or as it comes across to you?
No, well, I mean, I think I'm jaded over time in general, just in terms of even just being a woman and like all of the things, the sexualization of all of these things. Like, I know that breast cancer gets money because, to be honest, people like breast. And that's, to me, like, that's not what breast cancer is about. Like, so it kind of makes me, when I'm thinking about, like, I have a disease that people get behind because they like breasts. Like,
No,
I guess I also understand the voice of, like,
I think that you are very much generalizing when you say people like breasts.
Well,
I think you're talking about 5%, not 50%, of the people who truly are raising money and trying to do good and sexualizing the October.
Right. But I guess my thing with that, though, is like, if you knew what it felt like to be hearing about an event where you're decorating bras or you're doing all of this stuff for a woman who is losing their breast or hoping, people are wanting mastectomies to get rid of cancer. Some of them aren't getting them. Or, going through these things, it just feels like, you want me to be happy about that? Like, a bra for me right now, I can't find a bra that fits. And from my reconstruction. Right. Like, all of it just makes me upset in terms of, it's not funny.
It's not. And I totally, I've seen some of them already on social media, or
Yes.
I've seen some of that already, and but I do think those are the things that stand out, and they are the small minority that's ruining it for you, for all of it. There's a lot of good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good money that's being raised. There's a lot of good, I know you hate this, but awareness. And awareness can absolutely bring bucks into metastatic research, and maybe make a congressman or congresswoman vote a certain way that they might not have, because they have been, it's to some extent, inundated with the knowledge of this being there.
Yeah.
It may make that person, that congresswoman or man, accept a meeting with somebody to discuss that where it wouldn't have before. I think there are good things that come from this, but the small... This is the truth with everything, by the way. It's a lot of times the 2%, the 5% that ruin it for a lot of good things.
I know, and I guess that's true on a general level, but what it says to me, or what I feel like, is like, Heather, shut up. Like, stop being the balloon popper, the one who's like, stop. It's like saying, it feels to me like when I see all these things, like I want to educate.
No, that's not what I don't want you to feel that way. I'm saying this. I think you are doing a really good job of educating people via this and other ways about not all of it's good. And listen, this is how it can be really offensive. Not only offensive, but heartbreaking to some extent.
It hurts.
And
It just hurts.
So stop doing that.
Yeah.
But these other things can be positive things. Doesn't mean we should never talk about breast cancer again, because that's the way it was. That's the way it was.
Right. No, I agree with that. Like, we need to talk about it, but we need to talk about it in a way that
yes, we need to change how we're talking.
Feels respectful to the people.
Totally agree.
Women. I mean, even if you're stage 1, you don't want to die. And that's ultimately, right? Like, those are the things. We don't want to die. So I just feels like, it just feels like there's so much language, and, I know, like, just as people, one of the ways that we deal with things that are hard for us is humor, right? And we use it too, but it just feels like it gets...
humor placed in the wrong is not funny anymore.
Right.
In the wrong timing, the wrong place.
Right.
Still funny to other people who don't have the background or the knowledge or the how that hurts.
Right.
Which is true with a lot of humor. But
right.
it
and I
shouldn't
guess
be a
I
part
think
of this.
with that, with that kind of stuff, I feel like if you understand why these events or these things can be hurtful, then why wouldn't you stop doing that?
Oh, I don't think a lot of people know that. No, I don't.
Sorry, that's an eye roll on my part, if you can't see it. I mean, I agree with that, but there's also, what I'm also realizing, and I think this is part of this too, it feels like an isolation, like being isolated because of metastatic disease. And it's because there's a component of, oh, you don't know about that. If I tell you, you might be receptive or you might not be. But if you take information or you choose not to ever learn anything, then I don't know. It changes the relationships I have with people. Just because there's a lot of people that they honestly go through life choosing not to know about things. And that's okay, I guess. But it makes me feel like...
So you think everybody should know everything about breast cancer?
No, I don't.
Okay, so there's where, and I understand where you're coming from, and I'm trying to some extent defend people who aren't doing these negative, these funny humor boob things, and at the same time, I